Hey guys, what's going on? This is Chris. I made this video a little longer than I wanted to, but that's okay. Because what I set out to do is to try to inform everybody two things. One, I wanted to let everybody know that there's a way to look at it on the screen without zooming in, and I've already mentioned this before, but I go over it again. But I also show you guys how to decipher and what to look for in these photos. But what you find, you'll see that I find in these photos is phenomenal. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This rover is, in fact, looking at intelligently made anomalies, whether it be structures, crafts. It depends on your depth perception. Also, I think you'll like is I have a video coming up after this one of Venus. And once you see this one, once you look at what's on Mars, and then once you see what's on Venus, what's going on our moon, there's just no doubt there is or was intelligent life throughout our solar system and exosolar system. So we got some cool ones coming up about that too. So stay tuned for that. Let's get to the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. What's going on there, fellow YouTubers? It's Chris back with you guys with another cool video. This is going to convince you guys even more so that, one, NASA's doctoring up these photos, and two, what they're looking at is not what they say it is. And of course, I'm talking about Mount Sharp. I was trying to get these videos out sooner, but if anybody's been watching the news, West Virginia took a huge hit as far as flooding, power outages, you name it. And of course, I'm in the tri-state area where you got Ohio, Kentucky, as well as West Virginia. Fortunately, we are not in the flood zone, which is awesome. But we did get a static buildup charge, and it actually wiped out my modem as well as my wireless router. So, needless to say, one, I had a 2-year warranty on, which I just bought, the modem. I just bought that not even a month ago, so I was able to just replace that. It didn't cost me a dime. The router, on the other hand, did, and it was about $75, whatever it cost. So whatever it was, back online. We're ready to rock and roll for you guys. Okay, I'm glad to be back. So check this out, guys. This is what's cool. When I tell people when I'm looking at anything to do with Mount Sharp, I just completely don't see a mountain there. And I've been saying this for a long time now, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. This is the area that I'm talking about. Now, there's actually two halves to it. Now, of course, credit goes to Neville Thompson. You can see his name right here. I call him the Gigapan Master because he is the master of putting these things together, just blending everything and make it look like one big pan. But the good thing about it is any of you guys, subscribers, you guys want to check this out, you can subscribe to him right here because here's the thing. He has so many of these things that you might have sols. There might be like 10 sols on each side of one sol. In other words, he takes 10, let's say I'm going to throw a number from 13, 10, up to 13 whatever, and then 13, 10 to lower than that, and it might be X amount, and you might get 20, 30 sols on one pan. So it makes it a lot easier, and you don't have to go through so many pictures like individually. So you need to check this out. But anyway, when I look at this photo, I just totally look at this and go, total BS. I have never seen a mountain ever, and you guys can Google this. I live in mountains, in the mountainous areas. I've never seen anything like this. I've been through the deserts. Not all of them, of course. I'd be lying to you if I said I actually did. But even if you didn't, you can Google this. Look for buttes, and just look at the way the mountain ranges are anywhere in here on Earth. Now, most people argue the point, well, this is Mars. It's not Earth. Okay, but they say it was a lot like Earth, and they said that they had water, and it had this, that, and the other. So if it had, different, obviously it's got wind and everything else. They talk about the dust devils and so on and so forth. But it had water on there. So if it had water on there and it eroded rocks and mountains a certain way, they would look very similar to what we have here on Earth. Now check this out. This is what NASA calls a butte. Okay? This rocky or mountainous area right here, the one in the back and the one here, I call it the Twinkie. That's what they look like. They look like Twinkies to me. But now check this out. Here's a picture. I went to Google, and you guys can put just buttes. Check it out. That's not buttes. But we can do this, and these are. This is a butte you'd see here on Earth. Now, basically, it's nothing more than part of a mountain or a giant rock, and it's been eroded. And you can see they've got these lines going across, which is basically erosion. Now, it was probably water at one time when it was in these deserts and so on and so forth. And there's tons of pictures in here, guys. You can look at this stuff. I mean, you can see it here. You can pick any one of these, And you can see there's another butte in the background here. You can see the way, what happens is the debris falls down off of this as it's being eroded and falls down, and you get this kind of conical shape at the bottom of it. So that makes sense to me. I'm okay with that. But this, absolute BS. And I'll tell you why it looks like BS. And I've said this a long time ago. First of all, I don't believe the distance that they're showing here. Now, you look at, they have this, they love to mess with your depth perception. So you think, oh my God, this has to be miles away. They're using a telescopic lens to make it look like, I mean, they're looking at like 2 to 3, 4, 5 miles away. It's not. And I'm going to tell you why. And as I get into this photo, I'm going to show you some anomalies that clearly are intelligently made. And I'm going to let you guys give me your honest opinion about it. As always, you guys get the last say. Now, this right here, please do not believe this crap for a moment. This is absolute BS. This dunage area, not happening. And if you get into close to these, you can actually see the line where they've actually faked it in there. But a lot of people have been posting about this area right here. Now, that's pretty interesting, just that alone, but I want to show you guys something. Let's look at this for a moment. Let's go ahead and make this full screen. Excuse me. Just drank some water. Okay, when I see this photo, I see these things. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Check this out. 1 butte, okay? 2 objects, 1 on each side, okay? This, to me, I've always said it looked like the front of a jet. Like, this would be the windows in the front of it, and this would be... I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying it's just kind of funky looking, if you will. And all of these things, you can just see like they're just piles of them. To me, they don't look like buttes or anything like that. But this area I want you to pay special attention to, and I'll tell you why. Look at the shapes that are in them. Something right here goes up and goes back down. But there's something here. See how it's got this rectangular shape? I never look at color, okay? Color is there to fool you. Also, if you look, they want you to present, they're trying to present a mountain ridge or line of mountains and buttes and everything else to you. Do not give in to that BS, and you'll see why. Look for shapes, and what I mean by that is lines, not color, not shapes like these mountains or these buttes as they put it, but look at the way they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what these are, guys? It's a debris field. That's right, it's a debris field. And I want to show you that. If you think that's, you might go, oh, this guy's lost it. Just pay attention. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Look at the way these 2 things come out of this so-called mountainous area. 1, 2. Now, I'm not saying that's my proof. Don't think that for a moment. But this is the area you want to concentrate on. But what's really wild, check this out. Another one. Boom. Notice the shape of every one of these items. Now, you go, well, if it's a butte, it's going to have this kind of weird drop-off. See the way this goes up, goes down? Or over, I should say, across right at the top and then back down. Every one of them does this. But that's not what puzzles me. What puzzles me is they're all in a row. Another one. Again, like I said, with these one on one each side. Okay? Check this one out. It goes down, goes like this, and on the other side, it's like, and you got to look at this when it's, when you actually enhance these particular items, you'll see a bunch of debris all over these things. Now, check this out. Let's go back a little bit. Something again right here. And it looks like it has these 4 rectangular or boxed out things. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're going into whatever this object is. You can see it looks, boom, boom. There's something laying right here. But check this out. This big item. Let's go back. Let's back out a little bit and show you every one of these. They look like, there's another one, another one, another one. And they're actually lined up. And then you've got these other 3 buttes or whatever they call it. Now, what I do is I chopped it off here at this point on the right, and I went to right here. So what I did was I did this section from like right here to this part. Then I went over to this area to around, I think it's right around here somewhere roughly. I'm just guessing. I didn't care about the rest of this pan, although there's some crazy stuff in this too. You got to take a real close look at it. Which, incidentally, anybody who's been looking at these photos, do yourself a huge favor. And I've been saying this for a long time. Get yourself a magnifying glass like this, and you can see it's got the smaller magnifier in right here. And you can see that right there. Okay? You need to get those, or these eyepieces that a lot of jewelers use. And you can see this one here, and they've come in 3 in a set. Okay? And I'll tell you why you do this. Now, you can use it like this. It's not going to do you any good. Now, this one here was 10 times magnification, which is too much, and I'll tell you why in a second. You've got the 5, which is perfect, 5 times magnification, and you've got the 3. The reason why I use this one is I put it up against the screen. Here's the screen. I put it just like that, maybe a hair above it, okay? Hair above it like this, maybe an inch away, maybe an inch and a half, and I go over the screen. Do not zoom into any of their photos. Just zoom in like that. Just put it right to the screen and eyeball it. You're going to see some incredible things. You can buy these for like this set for like $6 on eBay, and I'll tell you what, they're well worth your money. Here's the thing: when you zoom in, most of these photos are very piss poor, low res, so you don't want to zoom in. The picture will simply degrade. You have a lot of degradation, and it's not going to do you a bit of good. You want to get one of these and put it right on the screen. Again, like if it was like that, put it close to the screen like this and just go over the screen and look at areas that interest you. And you're going to be seeing a lot more shit than you've ever seen, and it's going to blow your mind. Okay? The reason why they have low-res pictures is because the second you zoom in it, what does it do? It pixelates and falls apart. You cannot see any kind of detail. So, with that said, let's move into this. Now, again, I totally disregard distance. This is not what you think it is. This is not that far away. I'm going to give, if you look at this right here, you can see these rocks are right here. I don't believe this is more than, I'm just going to throw a number, 500 feet away. And let's just say, for the heck of it, let's go a quarter mile or maybe 3/4 of a mile. And I'm really being generous here. I don't even believe it's quite that far. Look at this blatant piece of shit. Look at this. Who thinks that is real? Look at that nice straight line. You know, now, some people have argued on my channel saying, hey, you know what? They've never been to Mars. They're not. You know what? I'm not going to give into that. It just screams flat Earth all over it. Sorry, I don't give into that. But let me press on, because I want to show you what I mean by I look for shapes, not colors, and not these, whatever they're trying to convey here is a giant mountain or the southeastern part of Mount Sharp. Watch this. This item in particular, right here, watch this. Look at what's shaped right here. And I'm going to show you this better in Photoshop in a moment. Boom. Goes around. This is without me fooling with it. Goes around. Has a point to it. Goes like this. Comes back around. But what you're going to see is this is what gets more bizarre. And you know for a fact that this thing is actually intelligently made. You see supports coming out from whatever part of this is, straight out to the end of this. Now you can call it like a fan because it looks like it kind of fans out. What you'll see is it goes like this to the edge, but as it's going around the corner of this piece, or whatever this thing is, they also come out the same way. They bend to it. Now if it was just lines going crisscross and straight across, I'd go, maybe not so much. But this goes right out straight, coming towards, and as it's going towards this corner piece, so don't these supports. They come straight out and then go back like this. That, to me, is insane. That, to me, is telling you it's intelligently made. And when you see this thing, guys, when it's completely enhanced, because I used a burn tool, and once you get into this thing, colors come out of nowhere. Almost like you can see greenery scattered about. And this thing will absolutely puzzle you because, check this out. You got what looks like these supports. But once you burn this trash away, it gets a lot more bizarre and cool at the same time. So let me bounce out of this here, because I'm going to show you this again. Again, check out Neville Thompson's stuff. Does a great job, and the props to him. So again, this is a butte. I don't know where they're coming up with. That's a butte over here. I know there's different shapes of buttes, but this is what I see, and I'm not seeing buttes here at all. Sorry, I don't buy that crap for a moment. But again, everything looks like it's lined up. 1, something there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all in a row. That's telling me they're either giant structures, or depending on how far away we are, these could be a vehicle of some sort. I'm not sure. To me, it almost looks like, now some people would probably call it like a spaceship type thing, kind of all lined up. I'm going to show you what I've got. I'm going to let you guys be the judge. Okay, so let's jump into here. And this is the photo. Again, this is the half of it. It's like I was trying to show you guys. This half right here. We're going to start off with this one. Now you can do, where is it, this one here. This is the left side. And this should be the right side, which I was telling you guys here. We can go ahead and Just do that. Okay. And again, you've got this weird here, right here. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to check that out and see the shapes. Not what they're trying to convey like something, these are completely mountains. Now, let's go back to this other one. This is the left side as I label it. And this is cool, guys. This is just neat shit here. And, oh man, when you start to burn this thing away, and I'm going to start doing this here, and I'm going to show you what I've got. As you can see, somehow now there's starting to be more and more depth. But you can see what looks like there's something inside here. You can see this here. And you can see this weird shadowing area. But what looks like something doing this. Now, there's a bunch of pieces in here that simply don't make sense. And it's all inside here, and you'll see a bunch of it in a second. Okay. Let me jump back out of this just for a little bit, and you can get a better perspective. Okay. Now we're going to roll on. I'm going to show you the steps I've taken. Now you can start to see this a little bit better, and you can see what looks like pieces, different pieces in this. Okay. Not only that, you can see this other object way up here. Something way up here going like this, and then down. Well, I kind of messed that up, but let me do this. Let me back a little bit. I can see this just a hair bit better. See the way this thing goes up, goes like this, goes down, comes down, goes like this. Check out the shape of that. What you're seeing is a mismatch of BS. In other words, what they're doing is simply this. They're taking a bunch of individual items, and by putting the CGI over it, it looks like just one big mountainous area. That's where they get people. And this is where people believe, oh, it's a mountain. Oh, my God. No, it's not. So let me do this. Let me just jump into a lot more steps here and check this out. And what I'm going to do is, if I can, once I've made this video, I'm going to leave you guys with these pics and a close-up so you guys can take a magnifying glass if you're lucky enough to have one, or these eyepieces. Doesn't matter which one you've got. You're going to see some crazy things, and you know they're not naturally made, guys. Check this out. Look at the things that are laying inside this area. Now, I see like these pieces here going like this. There is some kind of weird, brighter object laying right here. Doing this, and then what the hell? Going down and going up and then going back over here. There's a bunch of pieces and junk just laying here. Now, again, we have to deal with the CGI and all the stuff that's overlaid this. What you can do is burn through this. You can use your burn tool here. Well, let's do it this way. If we do burn here, we can either do shadowing or midtones. You can see midtones or shadowing. Use either or. And what you're going to do is you're going to blast through the overlay of CGI that's over the original photo. And you'll be able to get a good percentage. I wouldn't say a whole lot, but you'll get a bunch of details out of this. And it's just like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? This is clearly, I'm going to zoom in, for people on tablets or phones and so on and so forth. But clearly, check this thing out. When you see this, all of this in here, you go, wow, that's insane. But what the hell is that? I'm just going to back out a little bit, because sometimes you just go in and it's just either too blurry or, and I don't like that. I like to have better clarity, so on and so forth. When you see these things, I mean, when you start to go on these photos and just look at some of the things in here, you're going to see what looks like debris laying all over the place. You can check out this right here. Watch this. Look at the debris, what looks like it's laying all over here. But my other observation is, I'm noticing it looks like this plating, if you will. Plates laid over these things, whatever these things are. It looks like it's broken open right here. Right here. And you're seeing the inside of it here. Okay? So it looks like there's some kind of weird plating covering it. Is it because of the radiation? The sun itself? Whatever it is, they're trying to block out or keep a lot of the sun shielded from maybe parts of this thing. I don't know. But what you'll see is like completely smooth, and all of a sudden you can see like what looks like a bunch of pieces, all junk laying around in here. Now, I'm going to back out a little bit. Again, give you perspective. This thing always reminded me of like a front end of a jet here. See the way this thing is? It just kind of slopes down, and of course this would be the front windows. No, I'm not saying that's what it is, guys. Of course not. But what's really bizarre about this thing is look at the way that thing is shaped, and then look at just simple little things just peeking out of nowhere. Look at this. What does that? What? I mean, come on. Check this out. this was pretty cool. I like this a lot because when I looked at this area here, you can see what looks like mounds. Are they domes? Are they dome structures? Is this a kind of a weird wall type thing right here? Check this out. When you zoom into it, well, we went in too much here, but let's do this. When you zoom into it and don't do any kind of burning at all, it looks like some kind of weird wall type thing going up like this and then over. But check this out. It goes like this, comes down, goes like that, and then back down. But it looks like there's layers of whatever this may be. And that's just simply looking at lines. Forget about what they're trying to convey to you. What you want to do is just blast through this crap yourself, and you'll see what look like intelligently made objects. Are they spaceships? Well, when I say spaceship, people think these goofy little cartoons, or is it large structures, and it's just the way that they build them. Keep in mind, NASA's probably going, even if they could see these objects in here, they probably wouldn't be able to make heads or tails out of them. And I think they'd probably be right, because we don't know if they're going to build exactly like us, have something very similar to what we have. I don't know. But when you start to burn a lot of this off, you'll start to see more and more details and stuff popping out of it. And you can see it has... Oops, did it like that. And now, of course, I'm just doing this quickly because I do have a lot more to share with you guys. But what the hell does that in nature? And it's so much more, guys. And I'm only just doing the very large pieces. But if you look at this with your eyepiece, oh yeah, you're not even going to believe the stuff you see in this picture. This alone, this whole mountain or whatever this object, I don't believe it's a mountain at all. This area here and that area there, when you zoom in, watch this. Let's do it this way. Oops. Check this out. It looks like layered pieces and parts of this structure or whatever it is, and there's a bunch of garbage laying all over the ground. I believe this is structures that either been hit by something, it was a war, or whatever it might have been. But either way you look at it, these are intelligently made objects. And like I said, these objects right in here are intelligently made. And because they're being overlaid with garbage, you can't see this. It's being hidden by the people. Now check this out. Boom. 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 Now, I don't know about you guys. I've never seen a rock do that. Now, I could be wrong, but I've never seen a rock actually do that. So what's that tell you? Okay. Now, you can see that a lot more pronounced here. These are structures, and it's a debris field to boot. So understand what you're looking at. Again, this area right here. Look at the way it has like a piece here. Another piece laying right here. Something over here. These are platforms and structures or whatever else that's laying here. And you can see that's like parts that have been, it's like things that have been laying there and they just try to scribble them out and blur them out to make them look like they're just simply parts of a mountain. And clearly they are not. Again, just that alone, all of this up here, it's got pieces all over the place. It's insane. So let me jump out of this, and of course, this one here is the clincher for me as far as intelligently made objects. And when I take my magnifying glass, like you can put this in 100% in Photoshop and look at these things, there's no way that whatever these are not that far away, and they're clearly not rocks. Simple as that. Okay, let's jump to this one here. Let's move over to this one. Yeah, let's move over to this one here. Now, this is just to the right of the area I just showed you. And this is this item right here, and I wanted to show you this. This is what I showed you earlier about this weird, let's do this, right here. I don't have to enhance this thing. I don't have to do anything to it, but just look at lines. And this goes to the back. Again, this looks like it goes like this, and it circles into the front of it. Now, let me go back up here. I'm going to go ahead and enhance this thing a little bit, and you can see this a little bit better. You're starting to see this a little bit better. And you just go, what the hell could that possibly be? Now, I'm going to back up, and I'm going to just jump right into this thing and just show you what I've got, because it's insane. So now, okay. Now you're starting to see, this is what's crazy. Watch this. Let's start from this one here. There's absolutely stuff laying all over this stuff. All over these, whatever these, they're trying to convey as mountains. And you can see what looks like parts laying all over the place. Now, you won't see it all over the picture because you're trying to deal with CGI. You're trying to get through this garbage that's laying here. Now, let's have a look over here. And this is this part I told you. And when I show you the way I filter this thing out, it'll blow your mind. Now, again, look at the way this thing comes out. It looks like this weird fanned out area, and you can see the line to it. And I thought it stopped there, but it does not. It keeps going, almost like if it was going like this, and it had a face to it like this here. Okay? Now, again, look at the way this thing fans out, but check this out. Let me go back into, I think it was this one. Check the way these things come out straight, almost right to the front of it. Now, little pieces, and it's going along, they're coming straight out even on a curve. What the hell does that in nature? See that? And these are a little bit more faint right here, but you can see them coming out. Even on a curve, as this thing curves around, these are still straight coming out, straight out to the edge of it. What does that in nature, guys? Is that something that's, is that nature? Is that something you should see in nature? I don't believe so. Check this out. This object right here, objects right here. When you look at this photo, and this is bizarre, because, again, they like to fool with the people. I'm going to show you this in a second. See how flat this area right here looks? Looks pretty flat, I'd say so. But when you enhance this photo, you'll start to see things pop up. And you'll see these individual parts laying all over the place. Suddenly now there's something else laying here, and you can see it. What it is, God only knows what it is. I have no idea. Also, these pieces here go out into this piece, meaning, see the way this thing is? It looks like more of this weird, funky shaped thing. I don't know what this is, but it also goes out, and you can see it trails into this grayish area. Okay, I'm going to do this, back out again. Okay, now, back out. How is this foreground having anything to do with this gray area and the more foreground? Well, because by using different colors, it gives you a different, it's different layers of ground. It's either higher or lower. It's got to be really, really extremely far away. And let's just say for argument's sake it is. Just for argument's sake. Then these things have to be fantastically large. Simple as that. Check this out. When I seen this, I almost was like, what is that? And whatever it is goes into, there's another. Again, you can see it going off. Another. And there's something else right here on the side of this one. Whatever these things are, they go into this. But check this out. They're completely, like I said, it goes like this. Check it out. It's almost like whatever object this is, it's almost like when you see in these weird tsunamis or these hurricanes, picture the boats laying on land. In other words, they're no longer, that's been thrown out of the ocean and onto land. They're tilted on their side. Well, that's the way these objects look. And I'm going to show you that right now. Check this out. I believe, at first I thought this was a giant ship of some sort. And goes down. Now, this could actually be some kind of weird craft. And the reason why I say that, I'm going to zoom into this here real quick, is again, look at all of these parts in different shapes coming out of this thing. There's like all these what look like mechanical parts everywhere you look. All right, now check this out. Go back up here. You've got something that looks like it's going like this. And you can see it in the line doing this. And this piece is on the side of this thing. Like this whole object is rolled over on its side a little bit, just as this one is. It looks like the whole thing has been laying on its side. And whatever these things are, that's on the side of this, or built into the side of this thing, this whole thing looks like it's over to the side. See how you can see this weird piece here, and it goes up. So it's like the whole thing is cocked on one end. It's like, or it'd be actually tilted more this way, and going according to the picture. But what the hell does that, guys? What does that in nature? Now check this out. I'm going to outline this thing. I'm going to back up, and I'm going to outline it what I think is going on here. Now I've done this to try to bring it a little bit darker, to try to bring in shadows, because I want to see underneath these particular parts. So, and you can see there's what looks like a bunch of debris or whatever this thing is, or part of this, whatever this thing is, laying right here. And again, you know, if you think like a cruise ship kind of thing, you can see like there's always things sticking off the side of each deck and stuff like that. And it's a very large boat type thing or craft, or, you know, when you look at this, but the whole thing looks like it's cocked on its side. It looks like it's like this. Again, just like this item is off to the side. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll go with that. Back it up a little bit. Now I'm just going to make this, I'm going to grayscale this area. And then I'm going to just show you the outline that I have, and then you guys can tell me what you think this is. Now, to me, that's what this thing looked like on here. And you can see, to me, this is what this thing it was shaped like. It seems to be pretty flat at the top of this thing, but has these objects. All you can see what looks like pipes or framing work or something, and the way this thing is actually built. And again, look at the way these things come straight out. Even on the curvature of this piece, how it curves, yet these pieces come straight out. Look at even here, has these weird, bizarre pieces going this way and that way, and they're all over the place. But guess what? You can see that it's actually been designed. It's been made somehow. Now, as I get into this thing, I'm going, okay, let's keep going. And I put a little color in it here and try to step back and have a good look at this thing. Because sometimes, and I've gone back to this thing several times to have a look at this, to see if I can, well, if there's something I'm missing or whatever. I mean, there's things all over this, man. Check this out. I mean, whatever this item is here, you can see it has like framework to it or some kind of weird, bizarre shaped items. Now, I'm not saying everything here is an item, because a lot of it you got to have to cut through CGI. But check this out. When you look at this here, again, it has these weird, actually, this one looks like it's kind of shaped like this, but check out these things. They're like portholes or some kind of weird venting or something. Whatever the hell this thing is, look at this. Coming down, different pieces, laying all over the place. I mean, what the hell does that, guys? So, all right, now let's back up. Now check this out. What I tried to do was go approach this from a different way and see if I can bring this out. So what I did was I used obviously my burn tool, but this time I used midtones and went over this photo. And it brought out some pretty bizarre stuff. Now, watch this. This is pretty cool. Check this thing out now. Look at the way this thing looks now. Now, of course, this is blurry and not the way you'd like to see it brightened up. So what I do is I started to brighten this thing up a little bit by simply using your dodge tool. Now, anything that has, if you use midtones and you just go over it, it doesn't have to be like you're trying to paint it in, none of that like that garbage. Just go over the photo. Whatever has a bright or a white signature is going to pop right out. Now, anything that's in a darker area, you can use the actual shadowing. And if you use the shadowing in this, what will happen is you'll be able to bring out some of the darker areas that were meant to be white. So, and I don't really use that too much. I'd rather use the midtones because it actually brings this out. But check all of this out right here. And you can see this is a definitive curve to this thing right here. You can just see the way this thing, and you can see the line perfectly, go like this. And I thought it actually stopped it, but it doesn't. It keeps going. So whatever this thing does, now I'm assuming, let's say for argument's sake, this thing actually goes, it keeps going, and then comes back in like this. And whatever this thing is coming down, what the hell is that? I mean, what? Then I started doing this a little bit more, and I don't know if you guys seen this yet, but check this out. What is this laying right here? It's in the shadows of this thing, but check this out. This is pretty cool. When I did this, I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, I seen this. It looks like something right here, and it kept doing this. And I'm going, okay, maybe, perhaps, this is some kind of weird structure. Because I went like this, came around, I'm going, all right, let's keep following and see what it goes. I mean, what's the worst going to happen, you know? But check this out. This looks rounded right here. Goes like this, comes over. Well, I did that a little jerky there, but let's go up, goes across, and down. I'm going, whoa. If this is in fact like this, then maybe this is an actual structure, and this is something sitting inside it. Now, I'm just saying that's the way it looks to me. I'm not saying that's what it is. Now, let's go to the finished product, and we'll look at this here. Okay, so check that out. Look at this thing, and now when I started to burn more of these here, I can see that they actually kept going. So now, let's back up here a little bit, and you can see way up on the top here, there's other structures or something that's being hidden. Check this out. Right above this item, I'm going to call it item, but check this out. It goes down into it. And I didn't put any of these colors in here, guys. These things were actually put in here. Check that out. This color, it almost looks like there's actually greenery, like organic life, so on and so forth. But check this out. It gets better. I love this. Looks like a framing of something else. I don't know what that is, but check that out. Something else laying right here. But when I see shapes like this, I can't help but to think modern technology. I can't help but to think there's something else more in this picture. When I see this whole object, now I don't know if that's a structure, and there's a ship or something right here. It looks like it goes down like this. This would be the roof pot, going across and then down. This item is sticking out of this whole structure. See this here? And it looks like it has some sort of structure to it. You can see this going down like this. But whatever these things are, it looks like it might have an actual a rooftop to this thing, or it's connected to in the back, like I said, where it does this, and you can see them right there coming down into this. This is all one area. This is not like a foreground, then a little bit in the middle, then a boom, and then here's this huge mountain. There's just pieces. There's structures, vehicles, or something laying all right in front of this rover, debris everywhere. And I'm going to back out just to show you this, guys, and give you a better perspective. And this is what I see. To me, this was mind-blowing. You're seeing this crap here was purposely put to make it look like there's actually like water, where water was actually up to a level up to this mountain. It's BS. It's absolute BS. And so, you know, you've got to look at that and say, wow, that just doesn't make any sense. But this, to me, with all of these structures right here in this piece, wow. I mean, I'm trying to think, too, if this had... This is another item right here, if you look at this closely. Just look at that in a circle. And if you guys can actually follow this along, too. If you have an actual magnifying glass, check that out right now inside that circle, because I've got it at 100%, and I can do this myself. I'm actually doing this right now. You can look. This thing actually has what looks like supports to it. There's another line going down right here. And, of course, this is all dock inside this whole area here. But check that out. And it looks like it has some kind of weird domed area. But this also has, and you can look here, this looks like it has some kind of underneath, all of this area underneath, there's actually items sticking out from under and coming out. And what I'm saying is, you may not see this too good right now, but let me just kind of zoom in and let's see what we've got. Check this out. All of this whole area, it's not, this is the background in a mountain and this is the foreground. No, this has either there's something underneath here, like they have like, almost like a bay, if you will, or like a structure these things can stick out of, but you can actually see what looks like little supports or something coming down, coming out of from under it. What could do that in nature, unless, of course, it's something that's intelligently made? Now, I'm not saying nature can't make some real wild-looking things. Of course it can. But, I mean, just take a look at some of these things that are just sticking out of this CGI'd area and tell me what you think. But even this, I just looked at this earlier, and I thought, hey, what the hell? Like, there's something right here, but then this whole thing is protruding out of, and I just seen this right here, I just noticed that, but does this. And there's some kind of weird oval shape, whatever that is, but you get the idea. If you look at it now, you can see it looks like there's something else protruding out of that. And you can see, again, these pieces here coming out of it. So, I don't know, guys. You guys can tell me what you think this stuff is, but to me, this really, I mean, my hair stood on end when I finished this thing and saw this. Well, kind of messed that up. But this whole item, this whole area, and it's not the only area, because you've got these pieces laying on the ground here. This looked like some kind of weird vehicle frame or something, or it could be nothing more than a structure. But check this out. What the hell does this in nature? And, of course, you can see it kind of goes down real faintly, goes down like this, and then this kind of gets mixed and whatever. But this actually goes down. What the hell does that, again, in nature? This is stuff I want people to start taking notice of and really having a look at this, because when you look at these pieces, again, here, all of this right here, and this was bizarre. I think these, look at this right here, all in the back here. I didn't even do that. All I do is went over here with the midtones on right here. When you look at your dodge tool, just went like this here. And you can still see, and I'm just looking at this now, something, whatever light this is, it goes gray. If you notice, it's going like this, outline shape. But it goes from here is completely white and over here is gray. That's what they're good at. If they paint something half a different color and something another color, you don't see the whole object. And that's the idea of trying to hide what's in front of you. So, again, guys, you guys can tell me what you think this is. Now, I just did this, brought it back, but check this out. This has, right here, like an oval-shaped piece. This is going inward, going down like this, but it goes into this other area. Now, what the hell does that? Right here. But this is what, again, this whole object right here, this is mind-boggling. And to me, these are no way, in no way, shape, or form are these naturally occurring. It's just not going to happen. Again, I started using the dodge tool and these tools, and this thing started to pop out of nowhere. I mean, I can, look at it, I'll just do this and just do midtones, and I can bring out stuff that's, look at anything that's white, supposed to be white, will pop out even further. Like this piece here. What is that sitting right on top of this? You can actually see right here, and then it gets brighter. It's rounded, has what looks like something here and one here, but looks like some kind of weird half disc type thing on top of this. What is it? No idea. I couldn't even begin to tell you what these things are, guys. But check this out. Has this weird arch-looking things and stuff sticking out. And just pieces coming down all over this thing. And you can see where a lot of it's green. Now, this may be nothing more than density of the manipulation. And this is the reason why you're seeing the different colors. Or it is real colors, and we're seeing what looks like greenery and trees and stuff that's overgrown over this stuff. I don't know. Again, you guys give me your thoughts. But to me, my hair actually stood on end and tingled, if you can believe that. I barely have any hair. But when I seen this, I'm going to bring it up close for you guys, for people who have tablets and small phones, and I was just like, whoa, totally blown away. I'm going to get in a little further and check that out. Now, that is blurry, zoomed in way, we're 300% zoomed in, and you guys get the idea. Go back to 200%, if we can. There we go. And again, have a look. And like I said, you guys can pause this any way you want to and just have a look at this stuff. This stuff is not a mountain. It never has been. I've been saying this for long. Now, I do have conflicting, when I talk to my friends, they go, well, I think it's a little further away than that. It's probably a lot larger. Let's assume it is. Let's assume it is. These either are very large structures or something sticking out of a structure, or it's just the way they build their structures. I don't know, but it looks like some kind of boat or ship. And then you've got, again, these small framed items laying around. They're just laying there. What are they? And you notice they look like they're buried or whatever they are. Now check this out. These items are actually still there. They're still there. When you burn through, see, a lot of this is, it's been literally washed out of the photo purposely, so you can't see what this stuff is. Well, once you burn through it and get through the picture and get in and see the real deal, that's when everything becomes evident. So I'm going to let you guys tell me what you think this is. But you got to question. Again, do not look at color. Do not look at, oh my God, it's a mountain, therefore it has to be super far away. We don't know. It's messing with our depth perception, and that's what this is all about. We need to find out what is going on, and more than anything, look for shapes. This is what caught my eye, and I'm going to show you right now, because right here was the actual photo. And of course, I just added pixels to the photo to make it bigger. And you can see this is 100%. You can see right here on the lower left that has 100% to it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do this, enhance it. Now it's a lot closer, and guess what? It's still at 100%. But again, I didn't do anything to this photo, and guess what? There it is. Simple lines popping up right here in the photo. So, and again, you can see the studs go like this, goes back, and of course it goes behind whatever this object is. But this other piece is laying right here. And you can see it just barely ghosted out right here. This item right here. When you see lines that are identical, or the symmetrical, then you know for a fact, and you get these weird, I don't even know what they're, exhaust intakes, I don't know what they are, but there's 4 of them. And of course, I'm doing a sloppy job trying to outline them for you. But that's beside the point. Whatever it is that goes into this item, I'm thinking it does this. That's the top piece of this item. And this goes into the front of it. This, whether it be the structure or a whole craft, or it's just a bunch of stuff, all, I believe that this is either structure or some kind of craft. And that's what they're really there to see. Not this, oh boy, look at these mountains, they're so pretty. It's none of that. I think these things, I think they're there, and they know that, and I think we already know that. They knew exactly where they're going to land these rovers, and they've been doing this for years. They knew exactly where they're going to pinpoint, and this is the reason why they started going up there to check these items out. These structures, ships, crafts, whatever the hell they may be, they're seeing what's left over from an ancient civilization or a civilization that just got killed off, whether it be natural catastrophic event or something they've done to themselves. And of course, you guys can give me your thoughts, because I know a lot of you guys have been watching my videos as well as other people's. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think on this. But again, these items are absolutely in there, and you guys can go back to this, as I said, check out his. I will give you the link down below. You can check that out. And you guys can eyeball this thing yourself. This is the whole area. And of course, he's done a great job of this, because this keeps going on and on and on and on. And then ends finally, now I'm going to back up right to there. And a lot of times, he'll take out a lot of the orangey crap, if you will, to bring out the more natural color. And this is more natural, but it's not what you think. In other words, this is not an actual, it's their color, so to speak, not natural color. So this is the reason why I avoid the colors. You can go into grayscale if you want, meaning make everything one color, or you can just do a desaturation, make it all one color, and then dive into this thing. Because what you're going to find, again, you're going to see these things here, all these pieces broken up. See, a lot of this is like pixelating, because I'm actually do a slight blur to get rid of any kind of pixelation. And then, of course, I add pixels to the photo, too, to really bring the photo out. So when I do zoom in, it doesn't completely break apart. But this completely covered over, just CGI'd over to hide any kind of details of anything like they've done on this whole thing. But look at it. Look how everything seems to be lined up right here. 2 objects, 1 on each side of this item. And again, here's another thing. Look at the way this thing's right here. Goes across, goes down. Almost like the one over here. See it? Goes across, over, and over to here. This one almost does the same thing, only it's much bigger. Goes across, and this one's not so pronounced, so it could be anything. But if you look inside, you can see what looks right here. Real faint line of something right in there. These are not mountains, guys. They never have been. These guys are eyeballing something I think is insanely awesome. And I believe what they're looking at is nothing more than ancient civilizations, structures, vehicles, ships, whatever it may be, whatever it is not a natural occurring item. And that's what I want you guys to check out. I want more and more people to be aware of this. So just have a look at it. Like I said, get yourself some of these eyepieces. These are made for jewelers. But I don't put it on my eye. I don't want to see it that way. I want to put it right up against the screen, or just float it above the screen about an inch, inch and a half, and just go over it. So just bring any picture you want into Photoshop, if you got Photoshop. Bring it to 100% and just eyeball it. Don't zoom in any more than that. Just go over it, and you're going to see some incredible things, parts, stuff laying all over the ground. This is not Mount Sharp. It is nothing more than a debris field and intelligently made whatevers, structures, vehicles, ships, whatever they are, clearly laying on the surface right in front of this rover. And that's what they've been looking at all this time. With that, I'm going to let you guys go. Please subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Share the video. Always appreciate it. Give me some thumbs up. It's good to be back. I'm going to be making a lot more of these in this coming week, so, get ready for that. Got some cool stuff coming on. Like I said, Venus, a whole bunch of these. So stay tuned for that, guys. Always appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next pick.